Thanks, Jennifer. Hi, everybody. My name's Ali. I'm the Road Safety Officer for South Dublin County Council, and I'll be doing a short presentation on the opportunity that Cycle South Dublin brings to get more children pedalling to and from school. I'll be disappearing from your screens because the camera hides some of the content of the slides, but I'll see you on the other side in about 5 minutes. So let's look at how we are currently travelling to school in South Dublin County Council area. So CSO data from 2016 shows that the two dominant modes of getting to school for primary age children are travelling as a passenger in a motor car or travelling to school on foot at 43%. And bicycle is at 2%. So bar the train and Lewis, it's the least preferred mode of getting to and from school. And since 2011, there's actually been a 9% increase in the number of children travelling to school as a passenger in a car. Nationally, then, you can see that there has been a significant decline in children travelling to school on foot and by bike, unsurprisingly, and this sort of stagnates then around 25% between 2002 to 2016. And then on the other side, then the car travelling to school by car has dramatically increased between 86 and 2002 and has a steady growth rate up until 2016. So our secondary school students then, the CSO 2016 data shows that travelling to school on foot is the most preferred mode of getting to school. And this is followed by then the travelling as a passenger in a motor vehicle. And we can see there that bicycle is actually 4%. And interestingly, since 2011, then there has been a 30% increase in passengers travelling to school in a car to get to secondary school. So at a national level then, unsurprisingly, there's been a collapse in the number of students cycling to school between 1986 and 2002. And then there's been an inverse relationship then. The number of students being driven to school has significantly increased over the same period and continues to grow up until 2016. And going back to the bicycle then, between 2002 to 2016, there's been a slower decline in the numbers cycling to school, but actually there's been some good news in that 2016 saw the reversal of this trend with a 10.5% increase since 2011. So there are now over 7,000 students cycling to school by bike at a national level. So within this then, over 90% of these students are male, but the number of female cyclists has grown by over 30% since 2011. So it's coming from a small base, but still good news all the same. So this leads to an everyday image like this outside our school. So parents either sitting in their cars or idling, waiting to collect pupils, students leaving school. For anyone who's been near a school, particularly pre-COVID, this picture can be relatively tame, and actually during school drop-off pickup times, it can feel a little bit more like this. And unfortunately, this has led to more of these signs popping up around the county, in that schools have to actually thank people for parking in a way to make it safe for children to get to and from the school. So we're probably all too familiar with the cars parked in the double yellow lines or on the footpath or in the cycle lane. So how do we get to this then? So Cycle South Dublin has plans to become one of Ireland's cycle friendliest counties. How do we actually achieve this? How do we make it safer for children to travel to school in an independent way? And how do we also make it more appealing then for families to ditch the car and use bikes to get to and from school? So we all know how cycling is good for our health, good for our well-being, and good for the environment. But we certainly can't achieve it by this. So this is a mixture of, I suppose, engineering, enforcement issues, whatever your take is on it. You can see the school on the right here. Drivers have blocked the cycle lane and up on the footpath. So this makes it incredibly challenging for anyone to use the cycling facilities, and then to also use the pedestrian facilities as well. So here's an example of a segregated cycle lane. And in my opinion, it's a good one in that you can see on the left and on the right, there's barriers to prevent people from actually entering this cycle facility. That's not to say that, you know, issues can't arise using this type of infrastructure, but it's just a good example of what could be achieved. And you can see then the table on the left shows our existing cycle network and the number of schools that are within a certain distance of that, and how with rolling out Cycle South Dublin, this increases significantly across the four distances. So between 100 meters, there's 31.1% schools within 100 meters of the network, and up to 400 meters within the network, there's 88.1 schools within the county. So how can we supplement the Cycle South Dublin? Well, we can look at school street and school zones to kind of remove traffic or reduce traffic arriving at the school gate and making it safer for children to walk and cycle to school. And this is an example from Fingal School Street in Malahide, which actually showed a 50% decrease in the number of children arriving at the school by car. And also, South Dublin has plans to roll out 4 pilot school street, school zone style projects over the next year. So thank you for listening. I'll pass you back to Jennifer, and if you have any questions, please pop them into the chat, and hopefully we'll get to answer them later.